What's going on, champs and champions? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video we're going to be talking about some interesting changes to Save the World, some things that were kind of unexpected, and some things that might be a little bit of like a downgrade or whatever in the Save the World land. So there's a decent amount of stuff to talk about here, so sit back, relax, and get some popcorn or whatever you're eating this morning, and let's dive in. Firstly, why are we talking about Save the World? Well, it's because I hope by talking about this stuff and it going free to play that it ends up getting a lot of players, allowing it to get more updates. Maybe they can finally finish adding an actual story to Twine Peaks, who really knows. But there is a lot of stuff kind of going on, a lot of news in that area, a lot of changes, etc. at the exact same time that really makes Save the World an interesting mode to kind of look into, and it really makes me wonder what else could they be doing with it. So let's go ahead and talk about two new news feeds that they put live with the launch of the new season, and one of them kinda has me a little concerned. So the first one says game-changing updates are coming. There's never been a better time to jump back into Save the World. The April 16th free-to-play update brings many improvements, including the ability to turn found weapons into schematics, streamlined upgrades and XP, and much more. See the full list of changes by checking out fn.gg/stw-e and p. So that was an interesting little blog post or newsfeed to see them put out there. I've seen some people mention that it mentions game-changing updates are coming, even though these updates are live right now. So are there more game-changing updates coming in the future? We don't really know, but it's definitely an interesting thing to kind of spot and mention, because it sounds like something where if Save the World starts doing good in player counts, if it continues to have more players than like Rocket Racing, which I mean that one isn't hard, sorry Rocket Racing players, if it continues to have more player counts than like Fortnite Festival, all these other modes, then that gives Epic Games more of a reason to go ahead and update these modes and get people playing them, and it could be something where we end up actually seeing like the Twine Peaks storyline finished or something in Save the World because of them going ahead and putting more developing power into the mode, now that it's a free-to-play mode that anyone can hop in and play at their heart's content. Now, will that be what actually happens? I honestly got no clue. It might be, it might not be, but at the same time, I do just hope and pray that Save the World gets some really nice updates. You know, maybe we could have like a reset system where if you're someone who played Save the World in the old times and you want to reset your character and start off new like everyone else who's going to be going in with the free-to-play launch, you could do that as well, but that's not something that's like confirmed or anything. That's just something I think would be a little bit of a cool addition. Now, it's a little bit more interesting is this variant of that exact same newsfeed that states something that we weren't really expecting them to state. It has the title of Same Epic Mode, New Updates. Save the World is going free to play. New updates are rolling out to further enhance the game, such as level appropriate quest and mission rewards, improved prizes in Loot Pass, streamlined XP, and more, and then it mentions go check out all the changes on that specific website. Now, the interesting thing about this is they said improved prizes in the Loot Pass. I want to start this off by saying I think they meant to say collection book, right? I think that maybe they've got a little battle pass brained in there and they weren't really thinking about what the thing was called, but I definitely think the improved prizes in Loot Pass is supposed to be a collection book type thing, and it was just kind of a little mistake on their point. But what if there is actually something more about this than what we currently know? What if there's a situation going on where yes, they improve the prizes in the collection book, but they do have a feature called the Loot Pass that they're planning to release in the future, which could work similar to like the Genshin Impact Battle Pass system, where you go ahead and buy a premium pass, or maybe you go with the Fortnite crew, you know, because I mean, you wouldn't obviously get the Genshin thing with the Fortnite crew, but you know, a Loot Pass for Save the World with the Fortnite crew, and then by playing the game, instead of getting like skins and stuff, you get like materials, you get unlocks that are related to the Save the World mode themselves, things that will help you power level through Save the World, and it's a way for them to go ahead and sell a subscription service on top of the normal Save the World stuff, and probably make more money than they would have if they were just selling, you know, the starter packs for Save the World all the time. That is a little bit of like a far-fetched theory. Maybe it doesn't actually end up happening, you know, I hope it wouldn't end up happening, but it's definitely something I could see Epic Games doing in order to monetize Save the World a little bit more, because as we've seen with basically every mode in Fortnite, they've found a way, if it's free to play, to monetize it. We saw this with Lego mode, with the whole entire Lego pass, but we also saw it with stuff they'd done before, such as the like Lego kits in the shop. Now they don't do those Lego kits anymore, so it's kind of like, whatever, but we saw that with other modes such as Fortnite Festival with the Festival Pass. We see this over in Fortnite OG with the OG Pass. We see this over in Battle Royale with the Battle Pass, of course. But and Rocket Racing. We see that with vehicle cosmetics. That was kind of the main reason Rocket Racing got added, was for the vehicle cosmetics like this right here to exist in the game. But it's definitely something I could see them doing in order to make more money, or, you know, as they said in one of their blog posts, pay the Fortnite bills by going ahead and, you know, improving the stuff in the collection book, which is nice, but also having some type of not collection pass, but oh my god, please, but having some type of loot pass so that people can go ahead and pay for a little bit faster grinding and a little bit more materials. You know, maybe it's like hero vouchers, maybe it's like superchargers, who really knows, maybe it's like really good traps or something. I don't really know how they'd be able to balance that based on everyone's actual level in the mode, but it's definitely something I could see them doing. However, at least as of right now, when they mention loot pass in the official post and in their newsfeed and everything, they're actually talking about the collection book and not a subscription service monthly battle pass type thing that maybe it resets every venture season or something. Actually, you know what, now that I say that out loud, I think it could be like a ventures pass if they really were to do it, right? You know, they go ahead and make it so it's like, oh hey, if you want to progress through ventures faster, go ahead, purchase the loot pass. You get yourself some cool weapons right away, but you know, as you continue playing, you'll end up getting more and more stuff. Now then again, I'm not for sure if any of the stuff would go into like the FTC situations or whatever, if any of it would really be allowed in Fortnite without proper disclosures. I assume it would be fine, but only time will really tell. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think this loot pass mention should be for? Do you think it's just a mess up where they mentioned a collection book because the collection book did actually get improved? Or do you think they have another plan behind the scenes to go ahead and add more content in terms of like subscription services over to the Save the World mode? And you know, at one end, I probably wouldn't buy it except if I got it from the Fortnite crew, because I mainly get that through Game Pass anyways. But if they were to go ahead and make it something that was a nice little feature to the game that I technically get as an added benefit, maybe it would be interesting. And if it gives Epic Games more money to go ahead and update Save the World more, that would be pretty cool as well. Until next time, however, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it. I'll catch you champs and champions tomorrow with another upload, so until then, peace out.